There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. What about people who willing to sell? The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving up here and the parents from there. The welcome and life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris who make on you. I can't Sktv venue. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And yes I know money. Emu aye yo. And you love emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold rather lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold rather lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. What about people who willing to sell? The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise my best. The work with my life without fear. From Grandfather, Nima to Lufa. From Riverside, River G to Chile. From Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, San to Bacalu. From Maryland, Bon County to Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
3 minutes down 6. That's the time check from what I said and broadcast. What a fateful Friday evening for matter of fact. Today is the 19th of June. I don't know about you, but today is the 19th day. Someone will say today mark the 19th of June, the 6th month and the year we meet the same. 2026. Folks, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all of you out there, channel listeners, our viewers, and those of you that are always burning your batteries and all of your data and making sure that you follow all of our activities, you follow all of our broadcasts and everything. We don't know exactly which part of the world that you're watching on phone, or maybe you're watching it from somewhere around Africa. I better stay in Asia or maybe Europe or America. Again, good evening to all of you folks. Today the show will be interesting. By the way of, in fact, information, we'll be having the political leader of the CMC, Honorable Musa Hassan Belite, will join us here this evening to also talk more about some of the prevailing situation back home in Liberia. Help us share the show. Those of you who are joining, today is Friday. And I'm Johnson Mayor Bankura. I'll be joined as usual by our team of panelists. Steve Bole already joined us in studio. Mose already here with us. Ali Masale. And then the rest of the team, Honorable Musa Hassan Belite, will join us in a moment from now on. But again, help us share the show. Invite someone to also listen so that they can also be part of the show this evening. There's a Truth FM 96.1. They had a soul of Liberia. Help us share the show, people. But Steve is already, Steve, you know, a little bit serious with what's going on, my brother. Are you, someone will say, why is more serious than the government who are fighting drugs?
Well, man, let me greet our people quickly because start with politics. Folks, let's share the show, please. The chairman of the CMC will be here. The political leader, I'm very sorry. I don't know. I used to call him chairman.
Yeah. You know, you probably used to the chairman thing now. They making me fun, you though.
The political leader will be here momentarily. But in the meantime, let's set the stage. Let's build the audience. As always, the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. Melbourne, I think it's our responsibility to start sharing the show too. And the Liberian people are the most important people on earth. Melbourne, I am not, I'm fortunate to not be part of the chaotic, unstable, unpredictable, confused, delusional Joseph Human Boakai government that is full of lies, deception, fakery.
Why are you using all of the adjectives?
But man, when I'm speaking for myself, and you
So
speak
you
for me.
putting everything together, you even confusing myself.
No.
No, man. You kept part all of the adjectives like that. Then you be confusing us. Even some of our mom and old folks who are also selling in some of the market era. That you say what delusions.
I said, I'm fortunate. Let me use the word for the Liberian people or for our Oma Papede. I'm lucky or I'm blessed to not be part of or delusionally confused, discombobulated, deceptive, lying, fakery, tricky, unstable government that Joseph Boakai is running. So I'm very excited about it. I'm happy that I'm not part of that, and I'm glad I will never be part of such a thing. But folks, let's share the show because we have a lot of questions to ask the political leader of the CMC. Political leader of the CMC, Manju, he's a father, businessman. He's a political leader. Some of you might know him as a friend. But Melbourne, to his credit, let me say here why he's not here. To his credit, say what you want to say about Musa Hassan Belede, but he's a down-to-earth guy. Let me use that Liberian term. He's one of the people that you can call or text anytime, and he will respond to you. If he's busy, he will tell you he's busy. And I'm not saying it to blow any horns here or sing any praises. I will say the truth where the truth is. He's a guy that you can, basically he's accessible. Let me put it that way. You're able to get hold of him. When he comes on the show, I will bring up something in his presence that he did that was very shocking to me. For me, I think it's good for us to have these kind of conversations. So today we're going to be having a candid conversation with him, or sit down to kind of find out what he's doing. And folks, just so you guys know, SKTV going forward will be engaging on Fridays. So you will see some of your favorite political actors, political leaders, political personalities will be reaching out. We'll reach out to the Unity Party as well. Yes, and we are not going to change our stand based on the things we said, but we'll reach out to them. When it's time to have national conversation, we'll have national conversations. We will. If it's time to hold them accountable, we'll hold them accountable. But we'll provide an opportunity. Everybody provide an opportunity to sit and have a one-on-one sit down like we are having today. You know, these people are human beings. These people have their own things going on or whatever not. And so I think it's important for us to, you know, have these kind of conversation with them. But Melbourne, what say you? I see that someone that grew somebody open, they put you in there, I see you leaving the group. I saw that it says Melbourne Johnson could have left the group. You've been too strategic now. What's going on? Send a drug business started, you've been leaving the group, then what is happening?
Yes. Thank you, my dear brother. Thank God that in fact people like you are still around and very smart. Because for me, like I always say on this platform, that some of us will not change, no matter how many trucks. Like whenever you can call about asking, where the vehicles, the pickups that were given to the LD, who donated the vehicles, or where the vehicle comes from. So some of us were watching and we were observing that people been adding into so many groups. Even people been signing on our behalf. You know, sometimes people just been fake. They just want to trap you into things that you are, in fact, that you are not part of. Like, okay, we put Melbourne in a group, and so that Melbourne can be promoting the other group of people, and this and that. No. So we are not part of these things. Anytime you put me into a group, especially the kind of group that are not making any impact in the life of our people, some of us, you will see us removed. You only see, like Steve just said, Melbourne left. That's what you will see. So because why? If Melbourne eat, Melbourne ride out of the best of cars. Maybe in the air-conditioned car in passing and seeing people walking, rain beating them. You want for Mayborn to feel happy? No. Some of us, no, we won't be. So, Steve, I will always leave most of the groups. Let me tell you, my brother, from last, in fact, since last year, rather, since last year up to now, they've been adding some of us into so many groups. So all kinds of things. No, but sometimes we just remain quiet, remain mute, and sometimes they ask, Mayborn, why are you not talking? Why you want me to talk? So you want me to come, maybe to go in the chat room and say this, then when I come on the radio, I say another thing? No. So at the end of the day, my brother, I don't have to take my exit. And you're right, like you said. So those of you out there today that still said, this show is open to all Liberians, unless if you have an agenda. Maybe that agenda you have, maybe it's some kind of agenda to support bad attitude or bad behavior, then don't come on the show. But if you have that good agenda to even explain the workings of the government, come on the show. We're not stopping anybody from coming here. The same opportunity that we have, we also want to give you that same opportunity. So don't sit behind the same and be calling us and be explaining problem and be explaining this and that, but you're afraid to come out. Well, again, Steve, thank you, my brother. So we hope to have the lawmaker, because let me be frank, in fact, he's the best among all of the lawmakers, because even as we speak, I don't know whether he's a chair for the new group of people that they put together, or the new lawmakers that's supposed to go out there to ask or to know exactly things that are affecting the people. They know where you come in, but we're asking, because I saw it today in that.
Well,
yes.
Well, Mayborn, let me hold you there real quick, because you think he's the best. When he comes in, we're asking. We know why you say that. We don't want to. I don't want to draw no conclusion. But not only that, you're right. He's chair on some kind of committee. But the confusing part about the whole committee thing that he chair on, the president already told Jeremiah to go look at the goose and plain president in the country. So what ain't going on? We'll talk about all of that. He's here. So the thing looking funny, it looking sticky. Yeah. So we got all of that on the menu here to discuss today. We're not going to leave any stone.
And you're right, Steve. Because
so
the same people support it. The same people support it. In fact, the mayor was having, I think, 0.33% of his business money. The same people brought him to 0.02%. They are the same people sending him to say, "Oh, man, go in the market and go."
Well, we'll talk about that. And to the people credit, like, let me borrow your word, to the people's credit, they never force him to take the position. Yeah, we'll talk so. You see, on the show here, we let them talk to balance the conversation.
I tell you about because maybe the show will be too interesting.
Yeah, no, the show will be hard. Leave that thing. The chairman are not here for what, the political leader are not here for what. Look, the show will be hard. So the political leader, will show for folks. Yeah, us share the show. No bomb, but in as much that we're laughing or
yes,
we're joking with
this is interesting, my brother.
This is very interesting. Yeah. This is an interesting move where it seems like
how we see buying the market.
How we saw not too long ago. We saw the justice minister. Yeah, we saw the justice minister. They're talking funny thing, confusing. He said, "It's here." So, you know the Nigerian say you explain. They can't explain nothing. So we'll talk about all of those things. But folks, man,
I just got confused about how was the intent of the entire press conference, because at the end of the day, I'm not getting anything. No, you naming people who Liberian don't even have interest in.
My man, it doesn't mean.
For example, Mayborn a driver for our Steve. Let me just make it simple, maybe for some of our woman and down there. Mayborn a driver for Steve. Then Steve called Mayborn and said, "Mayborn, come and take them my car. Certain things I beg you, please drive. If I drive it into one of my men, you're waiting for you right now." So when Mayborn get that thing, that Mayborn, you come in, what responsible for that? Mayborn want to say, "Oh yeah, I deliver Steve goods," because we don't check people things.
No. Like the justice minister that said, they can't release people name because they don't want to compromise and package it off What? The thing just said minister.
Listen to the video memes.
Thank you. No, we see jokes. We want a government.
Indeed. So you play help us, people. We are sharing the show. For any other meets you quickly. We've been having some issues. Yeah.
We get government. We want a government. We get government.
But Steve, so we're still waiting for the political leader to help come out. We have, I think, about 15 more minutes. But what say you with the entire press conference, Steve? Because you saying something very interesting though. Myself, I was thinking that in fact that press conference going to shake everything today. Going to shake because mind you, the Justice Minister was also summoned by the House of Representatives to go before the House of Representatives and say to them that in fact that you're going to pile out all of the investigations because this is investigations. So you don't want to bring our names. You don't want to talk now because you have to give the investigators chance to do their work. How come now you coming on with names and some of the names that you've been calling the problem like care? Steve?
Melbourne. Honestly speaking, Joseph Boakai, the Justice Minister, and anything that comes from the government, I don't take them serious. I don't waste my time with them. I knew it was a joke. I knew that this is on a serious venture that they own. They don't want to. They know the truth. They don't want to say the truth. They're going around themselves. The fact that even as a sitting government, you will allow yourself to be pushed by online media for you to kind of say the truth. You're not on top of your game to be able to ensure that you are controlling the narrative. You have a problem. I've always said it, and I will continue to say it. If you are a government and you have to be in a defensive, you have a serious problem. You are done as a government. I'm not saying pass around and lie. I'm not saying get involved with propaganda. I'm not saying get involved with manipulations and so forth. I am saying to you that once you get to that point where you got to be on a defensive, you got to be explaining yourself as a government. You have to be explaining yourself or you're in problem. Because the rest of the time now, especially when your explanations are not making sense, every time you open your mouth, people got more questions than answers. You have a problem. And this is where the CDC-led, the Unity Party-led government is. CDC was in that same position 6 years ago. We held CDC's feet to the fire. You know what the Unity Party thought? This was a walk in the park. They thought they could use propaganda and all these joke, this foolery to be able to get around with things or get away with things. But they're lying. They are lying. It will even get worse because the more they open their mouths, they will contradict themselves. And look, the good thing about it is, you know, what we can say in Labro, God can do things. God can do things. They want international government and said inside. And it is very serious. It now reached to serious-minded people who want to do serious-minded things. And so nobody's going to allow. We're not leaving it with God. No leaving it with God beneath us. So, at this point, the government is in trouble. I can say that to you. They're in trouble.
Yes, because from some of the explanation or some of the thing I was saying about the Justice Minister, for me, Steve, even the common man out there, now want to even believe that the government is serious to fight drugs. Because if you are owning people who be driver, people who go, okay, Liberian people, they're already aware of some of these things because their children have been arrested. Even I think that same week when when they arrested her $19.2 million worth of drugs, they also arrested, I don't know, I think 2 young guys with trauma drugs. I don't know how many tablets in their hand, and they do photograph and so forth. So we are already aware of these things. And this is not what Liberians want. They want how they drug into Liberia. Who are those? Let me tell you, don't make it look like our people don't know about the big people or that of the small people don't know. They know these things. We're making it very simple for them. They know the big shots and they know the common man out there. That, for example, if Melbourne also work here with Truth FM, right? If that I was saying, if I'm quote unquote driver for Steve, Steve will not tell me that maybe take the car, drop it, or if I drop the thing that in a drum, carry to someone, the person waiting for that, be asking Steve questions back to back. No. So at the end of the day, I will carry this thing that Steve want me to drop to his person and drive it. If something happened where the backfire, the first person I will call is Steve. Oh, Chief, the consignment you gave me, all the things you gave me in the car to carry. Police people arrest me or they say that they want. If Steve will answer and come back to me, that's it. But if Steve call a phone, is now I become number one person now or suspect until I will be in custody. I'm not saying don't hold me in custody until if we can get rid of Steve, or maybe if we can get rid of Steve, then I mean something happened. But some of you want us to make the drug be like, oh, I saw the information minister Steve quickly. Oh, CDC 100 million. Look, Jeremy Pia, don't make us. These are all distractions. When you talk about drugs, where is the police officer Steve that during Malasani time that they gave 20,000 US dollar toll, and that's in RIA, and that police officer received the money and also blow alarm on the drugs, and the government and the people of Liberia hear that police officer. Where the police officer today? They will not give you no concrete information about that police officer, whether it's their life, whether their life has improved. But as I learned, that police officer will recall from his assignment at RIA.
Yeah, let welcome Seku real quick.
Welcome, Mr. Kane.
No. Mr. Kane, welcome to the show. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm not going to actually be part of the show today, but I just want to chip in on the pre-conversation, what you're discussing right now before the guest comes in. First of all, I want to say good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to everybody, depending where you are. Steve, Mabel, I listened to you guys. It couldn't have been said better, especially about Steve. We said we wanted government, but we went for the worst of all of them. We said we wanted capable and competent people. We went for the weakest link. What's going on right now in Liberia is something that is not surprising to anybody. So, what I would say to all of us, let's stop wasting our time believing that something will come out of this. Nothing absolutely will come out of this. I can assure you. You know, there have been a lot of different investigations since this government came to being. Have we gotten any outcome? What happened with the investigation about the death in Kinjaw? What happened to the investigation about the military women, protest? What happened to the investigation about B Mountain? What happened to the investigation about Aslam Mitar? What happened to the investigation as to who owned the $1 million villas in Lofa County? The list goes on and on and on. The other bugger is not accustomed to telling the truth. So when somebody write those cosmetic writing, fine-tune, just for him to come and deliver it, people are supposed praising him. I kind of feel like, I don't know what happened to us as Liberians. We kind of like have a very short, mind when it comes to remembering, what's going on a daily basis in our country. Joseph Barker told the world that he got yellow machine from a friend on a gentleman agreement for $81 million. That turned out to be a lie. They said they purchased Lulu buses, brand new. That turned out to be lied. Almost everything I've said, except for saying that let's steal, we're stealing, we're investing here. And the only thing that they say that is true. They are stealing and they are building houses, they are building apartments, they are developing their own personal life while the Liberians suffer in Asia poverty. So Joseph Boakai's statements, he has no value, he has no merit, because it's not anything that is close to truth. So let's stop wasting our time expecting anything tangible to come out of this investigation. It's going to be like one of those shady investigations that they already have, always have. So nobody should expect anything. Everything they do right now, they try to shade the actual perpetrators. That is the fact. Names are being said. People know exactly what's going on. We don't know, but they know. They do know. So I just want to come in to say that to the Liberian people. It is embarrassing to see a justice minister who is even struggling to read what was written to give it to him to read, because it's nothing that resembles the facts. It's million miles away, from the facts. So I just want to say that, Steve. I want to say thank you to you guys for always, keeping the show going. My brother Ali, how you doing? I'm here because you guys are bringing my political leader on today. I will be in the back. I will be sharing the show. I'm at work. I'm a little bit busy, but I just wanted to say, thank you to you guys for discussing this drug issue before the actual show started. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Kenneth. But Steve, I wanted to ask Mr. Kenneth, how come Mr. Kenneth is saying that I'm going to be here saying you guys bring my political leader? So we have somebody question already. I don't know what you want to tell somebody bullet. Mr. Kenneth, interesting. But Mr. Kenneth, let me ask you this question. Since we stay on the drug issue, what say you with the names that been mentioned by the Minister of Justice, Philip Yu, security manager of GLS, I don't know what kind of company is it, Mensast at Rabas International Airport, Festus S. Musa. So they mean no here, no name. But what say you with the names, Mr. Kenneth? Well, Steve, I think Mr. Kenneth is already to the back, like he said. So let's consider Steve. Go ahead, my brother.
What Mr. Kenneth said, Milburn Sarah, this is very, very, very embarrassing. Embarrassing to the point wherein, it's disturbing. Let me put it that way. As a country, it's very, very disturbing, where you have no head, no tail with the government. The ability to even articulate, communicate their points. The justice minister is behaving very confusedly, speaking very confusedly. So, I don't know where we are going. Like we said from day one, some of us, and we'll continue to say it, say what you like, cost us, send threats or whatever it is, but we will not stop reminding you guys about the truth. And the truth here is, when you guys came up with that statement, rescue train, We told your train is one of the most confusing transportational objects you have on Earth, because train got two heads. You don't know where you can go in from. You don't know where you can come here. And this is just how the Unity Party is behaving. Very, very confused, discombobulated, unstable. They are out of place. They are behaving criminally, starting from the president to the least man in the government. They are all behaving criminally and suspiciously. They don't say the truth about anything. The only thing they know how to do is to gang up on people and either remove you or put you in jail. That's the two things they know how to do. When they try to go run some kind of conspiracy to share money to remove you, they will do that one. But any other serious minor issue that needs to be addressed, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. That's why I said, and I'll continue to say, I don't listen to Joseph Boakai. I don't have time for anything he says because he's a liar. He's not going to say anything that's truthful. He's not going to say anything that's meaningful. He's not going to say anything that's substantial. Anything he tells you, don't listen to it. Listen to what he's going to do. The man told you he can ride wheelbarrow to work. Less than 30 days. The man bought a car. 1.5 million. That kind of man I'm going to go listen to? Listen to him for what? To what? Mesmerize me, lie, say sweet things? No, man. No, man. I ain't got time for that. So trust Joseph Boakai at your own detriment. Trust the Unity Party at your own detriment. Don't trust anything that comes from the Unity Party mouth. Anything. So the people that were, especially the ones that are appointed by Joseph Boakai in the executive, don't trust any one of them. Anything that comes from the board, both the men and the women, they will all pass around with lies. You know, President George Weah said the thing. He said Boakai can lie. His minister they can lie, and people started laughing. That's true. Joseph Boakai can lie. This is the truth. So all the people that he brought on board, they're a bunch of liars. You get very all you want. They're a bunch of liars. They're unserious people. Because no serious minded person would have been working with Joseph Boakai at that level. But now with a lot of the guy going on. Oh no. Especially for if someone were ever to, I thank God. I always say that I thank God. I can never work for Joseph Boakai. Never. Because he's a liar. Long time would I resign. You can't be a professional person and be in a kind of criminal entity, criminal empire or government. This is untold. And so any moment from now, we'll be having a political leader of the CMC. To his credit, he did tell us that he will be running late. And so we are at that point now. So that's where we are. Joseph Boakai is a bona fide liar, certified liar. So, hey, don't waste your time on anything to say. Yeah, Justice Minister said talking. Can you imagine a whole Justice Minister for the country? Whole Justice Minister. Yeah, but maybe as we are with the CMC political leader who will be here any moment from now. Another thing that I find interesting though, from a standpoint, from a social standpoint, one of my friends wrote a post today. How did this news outlet get all these security footage while the government themselves trying to go to court to get the security footage or everything? No.
Well, my brother, I know, Steve, there were myself, sometimes these things happen. Sometimes people want to share information, people want to call people for information. So when I heard that I don't know which one to quote, someone, the RIA management, to give all of the recordings, documents, and everything, the footages and so forth. Okay, that's good. How will government be calling your own entity to come and give footages or maybe video recordings of this, maybe of the happening of the day that they can easily get? So, Steve, yes? they're the kind of there were suspicions or behavior or what happening. Even that video that you were also talking about, my brother, myself watched the video. People started to complain about some of the happening of the day here and there. But even though at the end of the day, that video somewhere around the RIA belt. Well, to your questions, Steve, if you have people who are dissatisfied with the happening of the day, now what happened? All the laws that the CSA passing here and there, acting like they want to make it look like nobody shouldn't talk. When there are issues, Steve, you shouldn't talk. Steve, don't come out to talk. No, people will talk. So yes, so that video leak. Now all I can say to you that yes, some of the videos, some of the footages, everything, some of the information leak out because people are frustrated. People want to hear the truth. People want the truth to be told out there because nobody wants their family members to be held accountable for little or nothing that they know nothing about. And they should be in custody or they should be in prison for that. So people feel that, no, I think the government want to play games. So since the government want to play game, that leave or if I don't leak all of the videos out, all the photos, everything out, so that our people can watch and see for themselves. So yeah, now what happened, Steve? So everything will leak. Because I don't think that come from government.
No, let's get something clear because you're in the country. When you start using words like leak, this then it speaks from a broader spectrum, a bigger picture as to do we have security in the country? Are you guys safe? Because the reason I'm asking these questions, Noble, I want to lay the premise and maybe you can address it is because
go ahead.
Having sensitive information, data from places, including video footages and so forth, that requires the sitting government, the justice minister to go to another branch of government, the judiciary, to get okay from them to have access to these things. But an online TV or magazine can get those information within the twinkle of an eye. What does it say about the country? What does it say about the security, the data breach, the safety, and all of that? Where are you guys?
So it just proved that all of the money that we're spending in the budget for NSA, for a little group of people, are just waste of time. I don't want to use any kind of maybe kind of adjective, but I think it's complete nonsense. Because at the end of the day, all the information is security information. We are doing investigation with security matters. We don't want to leak out some of the information. We don't want to come out with needs now just because it's all security matter. Say you don't want to come out with names. How come today that you are coming out with names? So because they are no longer controlling the information anymore, most of the information are not leaking on their watch. So because let me tell you, Steve, like you said, my brother, we all have a family. If Mabel come to work here, then for example, in True Pepper, maybe anything is happening here. If I go with my brother, I have to maybe lecture with my wife will ask me and so on. My wife will have a friend. The friend will have a friend. The other friend have a friend. So, but people don't know these things. They just think that maybe by them just carrying that information home and just explain it maybe to one person, that means that information will remain there. No. So, Steve, we are just spending money for little or in fact for no reason. But what I'm hearing, the international committee that is stated from the beginning of the show that they are pressuring the government to make sure or to do everything possible that they inform the Liberian people about what's happening. They are still dodging. Look, Liberian people, those of you who are listening, pressure your government. They will confess. Your government, they are still dodging. The word we can say in the simplest form. They are still trying to play games. Continue to pressure your government. They will tell you the real truth about these drugs. If Melbourne take the drugs, how the drug Melbourne can produce drugs, like for example, I remember go take almost 235 maybe kilograms of cocaine and get RIA. So how Melbourne got all of it? These are questions you should be asking. So Steve, we spend money for no reason, and today everything is now glaring that all the 50 million for NSA, 200 million for a little group of people are just waste of time because they want to share the monies they want to use the monies for their own benefit. They now want to benefit the livelihood of the people. But everything is exposing now, no here, no there, now they are confused. Just listen to the Justice Minister. Nothing. So my brother, at the end of the day, everything we're doing today, no secret. Secret will leak. Don't waste your time. Nothing. Anything you do in government now and then in this age and time, like I posted Steve, I think a few days ago, I said that with the technology, especially with that kind of era.
No, I would like to interrupt you because we have our guests, I think, already set up, ready to go. So we don't want to take up much of the time. We'd like to, hopefully, folks, thank you for sticking and staying with us. Soon we get thumbs up here from the political of the CMC, who will be joining us. Just want to make sure that everything is set and ready to go. Okay, thumbs up there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Honorable Musa Hassan Biladi. How are you?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Yeah, doing very well. How are you today?
I'm okay. Been working around, been having community meetings today.
Yes.
At the port. And so we're still working for our country in the midst of all of the wahala.
Well, thank you. Thank you for accepting the invite. Thank you for keeping us posted that you were running late. Thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Of course.
How would you prefer I refer to you today? Because I've been missing a thing. I won't call you. I call you chairman. I call you representative. I call you political leader. What? How you want me to call you today on the show? So I'm not confused.
The one that is sweet in your mouth, said that anything from Musa to chairman to PL to representative, anyone that you come through with.
Okay. All right. I'll do my best to stick with PL.
Thank you.
Great. So, PL, welcome. Before we start the show, there are some Liberians that might have heard from you, heard about you. Some of them don't know who you are. There are some Liberians also that just joined the Sktv family following us that might not be acquainted with you. And it's been a while since we've had such a conversation with you. So do you mind taking a second to please introduce yourself, please?
I'm Musa Hassan Biladi. I'm representing the people of District Number 7 in Nima County at the National Legislature in the House of Representatives. I'm also the political leader of the Citizen Movement for Change. I'm a citizen of the Republic of Liberia. I'm also an entrepreneur, a father, and and any other thing that anybody want to add to me. That's all my title.
Well, thank you, Pia. Quickly, let me. I wanted to say this while you were here, because folks, please help us to share the show. I want to say this while you were present. I didn't want to say in your absence. Maybe that's not something you like for people to talk about, but I want to talk about it. I've never called you to talk about this, but I wanted to appreciate you opening. You did something that I was surprised. I never called you or text you when I lost my mother, but you reached out. You were very concerned. You wanted to know the entire process, what's needed to be done. You offered assistance in any way, shape, or form. You said anything I wanted, you will do it. For that, I want to appreciate you publicly. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And I know this is Labrin, apologies, Benny. Just so you know, I did not take the offer because I didn't call back or anything. So, yes. But thank you. Thanks so much for the concerns. And you will call and check on me, during those times you will call, you will text. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that being said, since we're talking about father, happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers around the world. How do you feel as a father having your son, one of your sons, in prison as we speak, surrounding the same drug business? How do you feel? How does that make you feel?
Well, it's not easy, honestly. It's tough, but we are a law-abiding family. We recognize our son uh, did the right thing. He should never have come, into contact with the drugs. Unfortunately, he did, and he's bearing the consequences. We are hoping that now that he has spent some time in jail, we are hoping that at the appropriate time we can be able to ask the court to allow him to spend the rest of his sentencing in rehabilitation so that when he comes out, he will be of use to the family. But it's tough. It's tough, honestly.
All right. Well, let me ask you this other question, because we'll get into the political aspect of these things, but I want to make sure we do the housekeeping, the groundwork really quick. How does a Muslim man being married to a Christian woman, how does it feel? What are some challenges? What are some things that you can maybe educate, inform, or clear the air for the general public when it comes to this part of life, especially having children, with a Christian woman from total different religion? We understand the religious bickering, sometimes backbiting, fighting going on in the country and so forth. How do you feel? How do you manage and cope with all of this?
No sweat. Absolutely no sweat. It's the same feeling I have when I interact with ordinary Liberians every day. I interact with my driver, who is a Christian. I interact with the people who work for me, mostly they're Christians. I interact with my fellow Muslims. I interact with my colleagues in the House of Representatives. I interacted with my classmates. I'm going to law school now. I interact with my classmates there. Life is very normal to me. I mean, um, my father, even though he was a Muslim, but was a very moderate man. I mean, he taught us those values. And Islam also, it was interesting to know, forbids calling anyone who has a religion unbeliever. So, we are trained to have appreciation for every religion, anyone who recognizes the existence of God. So it's easy for me. My wife provides all of the necessary services. A wife provides her husband. Um, and we've been married 29, 30 years now, and religion has never been a factor in any of our, misunderstanding. Absolutely not.
Okay, well, that's good to know. And quickly, just to expand on this question just a little bit more. Do you tell the children to go to the mosque? Does your wife tell them to go to the church? Do you guys have any kind of misunderstanding, conflict in that area? How does it work? The dynamics.
No, I mean, um, they make their own choice. Some of them go to church, don't go to mosque. Some of them go to mosque, don't go to church. I don't care. As long as they're worshiping God, I respect whichever one they choose. And we're happy as a family. The headache does not exist at all. We celebrate all. The thing is, we have more holiday in our family because we celebrate both our religions. So we make more party in our family than many families. So We celebrate Easter, we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Abraham Day, we celebrate Ramadan. We're a happy family.
Okay. Well, the walkout is on. You serve sometimes in the footballing body in Liberia, so you were aware of the inner workings of the walkout, FIFA, and all these different things. Which team do you support, and who do you hope to win the walkout?
Obviously, I support the African teams, except for South Africa this time. I support beyond Africa. I support the USA. And then because of Cristiano Ronaldo, I support Portugal.
Oh,
so my team.
But you're not why you supporting our team here? What is going on?
A lot of Liberians, including my own children, are American.
Oh, okay.
You know, America is all of us in this country.
Okay, good. So, but you say you supporting South Africa? That all the South Africans, I think, xenophobic though. Why you blanketly as a citizen?
I don't pretend, Chief. The South Africans are behaving very ungrateful. Their politicians are being very stupid, very, very foolish and stupid.
Wow.
And, they're not putting their people in check. They don't understand that the rest of Africa struggle for their independence. We fought our country bled. I mean, we gave them a passport. In Liberia, some of them were on payroll. You know, talking about them on payroll. Nkrumah there. I mean, we lost African heroes fighting for South Africa.
Right.
When Mandela died. I mean, we celebrated South Africa. When South Africa got the World Cup, Africa felt like it was their World Cup.
Right.
They don't even have control of their own country. The boom brought up still control the country there. They don't even see that as a big problem. That they are fellow Africans who took care of them when they were homeless. I mean, allowed them in Zimbabwe, in Mozambique, they allowed them to carry guns in those countries. You know, they give them freedom. And the silence of the majority is very, disturbing. Yeah, I don't take that lightly because I'm a Pan-Africanist. So I don't take that lightly.
Okay.
So I don't support them.
Okay, you don't support them. All right, thank you. Thanks for sharing your support, your views with us. So we want to bring the conversation back home because this is where we're going to spend most of our time, politics. Eventually we'll get the guys on so that they can ask you some questions as well. But we want to kickstart a question, the politics and so forth. Let me start out with this. Is there any plan, any rumor, anything you've heard in the corridor that Speaker Richard Coon will be removed? Do you know anything like that?
I don't follow. I don't care. I'm definitely not a part of it. I believe in the stability of the House. I have no plan. I'm satisfied with Richard Coon speakership. He won. He defeated me. It was a free and fair election. And I don't like what happened before. But once he submitted himself to the legal process, he won the election. I remain supportive of him.
What happened to the rule of law caucus?
As you know, I'm no longer chair. The caucus is not active anymore. I believe he has lost his essence. Unfortunately, that's the tragedy of our democracy.
So the Liberian people can safely say now there is no such thing as rule of law caucus in the House of Representatives?
I don't want to say that. That would be too quick. But I guess it will be up to the members of the caucus. I'm not the leader. So it will be up to the leadership to answer that question.
Okay. What was your role in a alleged or expulsion of Yeke Kolba, Representative Yeke Kolba? What was your role?
I disagree with it. I think it's wrong. It's egregious. is yeah, it's just wrong. I mean, I don't agree with it.
Did you play any role in there?
The only role was to vote against it.
The only role was to vote against it. Folks, if you have just joined us, we're in conversation with the political leader of the CMC. We just started the conversation. We're warming up, talking about the House of Representatives. If you're just joining us, we're on Truth FM. Melbourne, is there anywhere else where simulcasting or reaching any other radio, any other partner, so that we can acknowledge them?
Well, yes, we have so many radio stations relaying the broadcast, even though some of them, sometimes they remain quiet, sometimes they don't inform us, but most of the time, they relay our broadcast. So we are across the entire country right now as we speak.
Thanks for the update, Melbourne. So, PL, let's talk a little bit about your county, Nima County. I saw most recently a posting you were supporting Representative Tai Wongwei in an audit for Nima County. What's that all about? How far is it?
Well, you know, the audit report came, indicted several people. We are asking for investigation since the GSC, which is the authorized government agency, you know, responsible for the auditing of public entities. And once the audit report is showing egregious violation of our laws of PFM law, and therefore, you know, it is necessary for an investigation to take place in accordance with the law, and that the necessary agency of government, especially the LACC, should take seize of this matter and begin, you know, prosecution proceeding.
Yeah, but PL, some of our people in Nima County are not too familiar with their reading and writing. They don't understand the book. So who are some of those names that were indicted? Or some of the people that were indicted?
Last two superintendents, the immediate past superintendent and Dorkoba, you know,
Okay.
on the principal, but, you know, the other superintendent passed away. And then the most of the legislators, most of the legislators of the 54th from Nima County.
So would that include former Senator Prince Johnson, former Senator who's Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn, and the rest of the guys from Nima County when you guys were not there?
Well, it said legislature. It doesn't. I didn't see Vice President Kuhn name in the report, and I didn't see Senator Prince Johnson. There are other, you know, lawmakers that name appear, and some of them have admitted to being consultant for which they were paid to the committee that was in charge of the revenue.
Well, based on your understanding of that report, do you think there are some biases in the sense that Prince Johnson's name was excluded, in the sense that Jeremiah Kuhn's name was excluded, considering they both were in charge to some extent of Nima County, the fundings? In fact, former President Prince, former Senator Prince Johnson, even lamented at the CDC-led government at the time that they were not paying their share to Nima County. What do you make of that report? Do you think there's some biases there?
Well, I mean, clearly, if the report is anything to go by, then the assertion that Nima did not get our fair share of money clearly was not true. I think that the current vice president was not very active in the Nima Legislative Caucus. So I'm not sure if it would be a misstatement if he's not named. So I'm definitely not sure, because my recollection tells me that he was part of the caucus, but there were those who were managing the affairs, you know. The Nima caucus was always divided. There was a few people in the caucus. They called themselves majority. Once they reached the majority number, they didn't care for other people, and they just vandalized the country money.
Okay. Well, we'll revisit the conversation on Nima Kante, but we want to pivot just a little bit to CMC. What is the state of CMC? What is the state of CMC as we speak, considering you had a couple of high-profile resignations? Speaking of Mark Leon, speaking of your Secretary General, what is the state of CMC as we speak today?
We lost 2 people. We got 2 people that I believe are 3-4 times more valuable to us. So we had a deputy, and it forces our attention. It strengthens our position in Maserado. It strengthens our position with the youth. So we're in good shape. We're fine. The CMC is not a party that caters to individualism. We're a party of ideas. We're a party of principle. If you come, you're welcome. If your actions are inconsistent with our principle, you'll be forced to leave.
Do you think I heard you say something about Monserrato, that you guys are in Monserrato and so forth. Do you think the CMC is more competitive in Monserrato than Nima Kante because you have the MDR in Nima Kante? Do you think the CNC can outshine the MDR in Nima Kante, especially with the vice president wearing the affair of MDR?
The MDR does not exist anymore in reality. In name they do, but in reality they don't. The United Party, yes, they're strong. Even before the vice president, the United Party was strong in Nima Kante. With the vice president, they will be strong. CMC, if there are 2-3 parties they'll be strong in Nima, CMC will either be the first or the second. In Maserado County, we've already laid down a plan of action. If there will be 3 parties in Maserado County, within 1 year, I guarantee you CMC will be number 1 or number 2 in Maserado County. This is a guarantee. We have already finished the plan of action, which I'm not going to explain to you yet. But that plan is very well targeted. It's a precision guided plan, and we're going to turn Maserado upside down.
You're going to turn Maserado upside down. Well, folks, the voice of the political leader of the CMC. PL, let me ask you this question, because you said that you're speaking about Maserado in Nima. Now, the latest I saw, and I stand to be corrected here, I saw you making a post about moving into Magibi. And here's my question to you. I was born in Magibi. Here's my question to you. What other counties can you let the Liberian people know that the CMC might have a stronghold in or might be able to move in politically?
Grand Juliet, Bon, Magibi, Bomi, Kipma, Babulu, Maserado. Those are parties, and Lower Lofa. Those are places nobody will dominate us in. I guarantee you that.
Well, based on what you just said, you've named some very serious populated county. I never heard you say much about Bassa.
Yes,
are you leaving the Bassa side with? Are you leaving the Bassa side with Senator Yomli and Jelone, because most recently they invited you to the program, or because you still have relationship? You scared to call Bassa name? Let me say the simple like wrong way.
Because the thing is, I'm not talking because I want to talk.
Okay.
The counties are named at the county we already finished programming in. Right now, we have secured our offices in Bassa. We're trying to put the logistics for Bassa together. Once that is finished, Bassa will be added. But if you just call Bassa name because if you don't call it Bassa name, that is different from the reality on the ground.
Okay. That makes sense. So let me ask you this other question. With everything you've said, it sounds more like if we were to go by what you've said, that means evidently CMC would be the next political party to take over the leadership of the country democratically. But here's my question to you. What are factors that would stop you, slow you down, or you could consider to say, okay, you know what? I don't want to be president anymore. I'd rather support this person to be president, or I'll be vice president. What are some factors that will make you to change your mind based on what you just said?
I have no intention. I'm running for president. I've made that decision.
So let me put it in a simple elaborate English now, so the people that can understand us.
The only thing that can change me is if the opposition get together.
Okay.
And together,
right,
do a survey. Let me give an example. LPP, which is Council of Congo's party, Simon Freeman party, Mr. Alice Cummings party, former President George Weah party, and Musa Bede party. We'll get together and we'll say, look, let's think about Moneyback, Clarence Moneyback's party. Let's get together and together, let's ask the Liberian people among us here as opposition, who do they trust to head the opposition? I'm prepared to accept that outcome. Once it's done by internationally recognized and reputable polling and data statistic firm, no one in the last 2.5 years, no one has worked harder than CMC. No party is connected to the people more than the CMC. We've done what we need to do to introduce ourselves. We've done what we need to do to tell the Liberian people what kind of party we are and what plans do we have for the country. And we're going to do more. So if by this time next year, all the parties get together and say, let's do the survey and see, you know everybody now. ANC been running for the president 2 times. Mr. President, we have been president once. CDC now run 3 times. Councillor Gwanglo run once. Taylor has run once or twice. They know all of us now. And ask them, do you want CMC, CDC, or ANC, or LPP, or MPC, or LANU? I will accept that outcome. I believe in result.
So you're saying, let me recap what you're saying, because nowadays people do clips, bits here and there. You are saying you are willing to make compromises, but there are conditions to those compromises.
I'm saying that I'm in the best position more than any opposition. I've worked hard. I've made more sacrifices than any opposition in the last 2.5 years. I've stood at the front line and kept the feet of this government to the fire. I've done it at the detriment of my business. I've lost over $10 million trying to do that. I've given so much to the people. I've refused to be bullied. I refuse to be blackmailed. I've done more than any opposition leader has done in defense of good governance and the people of Liberia. I'm the best person to represent the opposition to be president of Liberia. After doing everything I've done, if we get together and ask the Liberian people, among all the opposition, who you think can better serve your interests, if they don't take me, I will accept that result.
Okay, so we'll get maybe want to ask you a few questions, but let me throw in this question before I leave. Is there any plans in the woodworks to get the opposition together to have such conversation as to determine goal on one front? Any plans?
Oh, well, for CMC, we have made it clear. We're open. We are not going to sit down in the room to determine for Liberian people who should be the candidate for the opposition. The Liberian people should decide that. We should have a survey of Liberian people of who is the most favorable opposition politician among all the opposition. I think that they will not make a mistake. They will choose Musa Biledi.
No.
This country that we have what I have at stake, and still risk all of that to defend and stand up to this government.
Yeah, but my question is direct though. Is there any plan that the opposition is having to meet for them to determine, or for them to bring it to the Liberian people and say, you know what, we've met as opposition, we won't bring it to you now? What do you think? Is there any plan like that?
Well, there has been talk about it. You know,
Okay.
started talks. So I have made my position clear on my condition, and that's the same thing I'm just repeating here.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you. Melbourne, it's up to you so that we can get some questions into the PEL from you, please.
Yes, indeed, Steve. Thank you so much. I think most of the questions or most of the thing that you and the PEL talk about, I think is a forward march of our country. But for me, I want to ask. Most of my question will be around the 6 years that were given to the PEL or Steve or Honorable Musa Asambelete and that of the government. Mr. Benedict, thank you so much for coming. We followed most of your workings, your talking, and so forth, even that had to do with the issue of the drugs. I'm also getting confirmed reports or news that I know that news maybe is right around you that the LDA boss may let them step down before they go, or maybe before night end. That's the news I'm getting right now on my phone. But again, Mr. Benedict, let me ask you, this government, I saw you today, with other lawmakers talking about the forward march of our people, the bread and butter issue, things that are affecting our people. And yesterday, this same government took almost a lot of opportunity from you because, mind you, though, you were also putting food on the table of so many Liberians. And they took everything from you, but then they call you and say, okay, Honorable Benedict, come and help us so that we can know exactly where we're falling short, or maybe some of the things that are happening. Mr. Benedict, tell us, when you get the kind of coverage from to go and sit and say, okay, let me go out there and work for my people, even though these people who claim that maybe I'm bad, I'm terrible, that they calling me to work for them, or especially to work for our people. Tell us something, Mr. Benedict, about this, because Liberians want to know about the bread and butter issues, things that are affecting them, and you are number one person who champion these things.
Thank you, Memo. I'm happy that you asked that question. I believe in my country. As a member of the House of Representatives, I believe my colleague came to me because they feel that I'm the right person to resolve the issues at the port. And I can assure you that we will make a difference. We spent 7 hours today in the hearing. We are continuing on Tuesday. And we're going to continue. At the end of the day, I will not refuse and stop serving my country. As a member of the House of Representatives, any responsibility that body gives me, I will diligently discharge it. So we're looking at things that will change the way business is done in the port. We're looking at things that will reduce the burden on the Liberian people. And these are the things that we're looking at. And that's service, Mabel. For me, that's patriotism. I can't, I remember when the president addressed the country and people say, why did I congratulate the president? My politics does not go like that. My policy is when you do something, okay, especially when I criticize you to do it, and then you do it, I can't find different way to say, oh, you didn't do it right. We wanted the president to speak, he spoke, and I commend him for that. The fact that that's not enough, I said that this morning, and I'm also happy after I've said that, the Minister of Justice, I just had a press conference. I've not listened to the full detail of the press conference. I don't know if it makes any difference or it's just the scene 6 and 7, but we'll look at that, in time. But on the drug issue may run up, I have no intention to politicize it. And on the work that the legislature gave me, I will make sure that I keep my responsibility, to the Liberian people.
And to that, Mr. B, because people are already aware, especially Liberians, though, sometimes when you listen, when you see them posting, and then they will be sometimes posting so many companies alleged that are also associated with the high, cost of living, that are taking huge taxes, or maybe that are making things to be so expensive. I don't know how you people going to handle all of these things. Will you guys be able to handle the tax? Because at the end of the day, sometimes you will get everything done and send your report. Will the executive be able to work along with you people?
That's what we're working on. The hearing is going well. Monday, we are inviting the shipping lines to come, the big shipping line, OBT, Max line, to come and tell us what role they play. Again, we help with the demurrage issue. We managed today, we had a good hearing today. We managed today to convince the LRA to say you can't keep the people cargo. When they protest, you have 48 hours to respond to the protest. And that when somebody carry their goods to you to give them the value, you should not stay more than 48 hours. If you stay more than 48 hours, the extra day, that's not the person burning the APM terminal will come to you for that.
Great. So let's go back to the drugs issue. How are you talking about that? And in fact, you said that you are following and you like the way our president spoke and so forth. But Mr. B, the drugs issue now are taking another, someone would say, taking another way. Maybe people, Liberians, they want to hear something good. But then today, the justice minister talked about 10 persons of interest. And most of the news that were called, they are all like somebody who taking goods from another place to another place, somebody who controlling some kind of warehouse here and there. But Liberians, they want to hear that certain names. How the drugs come to Liberia? Who are those cartels that control the drugs? Who are those people that are spending the huge sum of money? Because at the end of the day, most of the fingers are pointing at those big shots, executive, the legislature, and people who are using government to bring in drugs. And these things are confusing our people, Mr. B. But today we are about 10 persons of interest from the Ministry of Justice. What say you? Do you think that Liberia is going to get any good result from the $19.2 million worth of drugs, or in fact, our seats at the RIA?
Well, at least they're talking now. That's what we insisted on. To talk so that the Liberian people can know the story as we move down the line. And they've done that today. I think that's very good. I'm happy for that. I haven't listened to what they said, but speaking to the people is better than remaining silent. I will have to review it unless you have specific things to say where you want me to respond to. But unless we know this is $1 million deal, if you can't show me any small irrelevant people, then you deepen in the suspicion. We want real corporate, the big shots who are moving the drug, making the millions. You can see it in the car they're using. You can see it in the houses that they're living in. Then we know that you're talking business.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you so much, Mabel.
Yeah, go ahead.
Folks, we want to thank the leadership of Truth FM, Liability, and O'Neill Roberts, who, have given us the green light to control the show without any break. I know the political leader was about a year today, so there should be no break. But political leader will still got our staying on the show here. We take our break normally. So when the signal, we'll take our break. Yeah. But anyway, they said no break today, so we should continue. So I'm very, very excited about that. And I want to say thanks to them. But
I'm sure you'll let me go about 7:30.
Yes, most definitely we will. Most definitely we're definitely setting the time to let you go early because
I program. I'm about to enter another meeting at 7:30. I think it's the even
quickly, can you take this? Can you take one or two more questions before you leave?
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So based on what you've just said about the drug business and so forth, I want to go back just a little bit. What say you about the Lofa investigation? What say you about the investigation of the military women when this government first took over, and other investigations that have been carried out by this government that we have not seen like I say in Liberia, no head, no tail? What say you, and how can we trust that the Liberian government will be able to investigate this matter to bring an outcome that is desirable in a non-partial or biased way?
What Lofa investigation?
Well, the villa, the $10 million villa, allegedly that they're building the president villa, wherein there's been no head, no tail. The president saying they didn't know about it. This other government official saying they didn't know about it. The ANC asked for an investigation. We're still waiting. And the government has also taken upon itself to carry out lots of different investigations. We've heard no head, no tail from it. What say you? Do you think the government can be trusted with an impartial investigation on this matter?
No. They've proven
Why
that
not?
they cannot be. Chief, the house is in Lofa. Everybody knows that. Nobody knows who gave the money. Nobody knows who built it. The president has not denied that the government is building it. Nobody has denied the government is building it. The question is, they cannot answer as to where the money is coming from, who is building it, and for what. It is very sad. It speaks very bad for transparency. It speaks very bad for transparency. But
here's my question to you now. Most recently, I know Melbourne asked about your role that you've been appointed to on a committee. I'm not sure what the scope of that committee is, because the president also constituted the vice president to go to the markets and look at the pricing and other things like that and see how best they can work. Are you guys in conflict here? Is this a confusion? What is it?
Well, this is a legislative oversight, and it is our duty. And also, this committee will report. It will tell the Liberian people what we found. It will recommend to plenary. We believe that plenary will approve it, and then the committee will oversee the implementation of plenary decision.
Okay. Well, not to hold you, I know you got to go in the next 2-3 minutes. Before you give us your parting comments to go for the day, my question to you is: at what time we're taking up a day up, government thing, and you were running around, we couldn't get hold of you. Is it possible to reschedule? So, because there's some questions we wanted to ask you and other members of the team wanted to come.
You want me to come?
Okay.
Yeah. And not just that, anytime. I didn't come on SKD for a long time, so anytime you want me to come.
All right, thank you so much.
You just did, determine the time, I'll be here.
Thank you so much. What's your parting comment for us today?
They're fair, they're strong. Sometimes you can corner me like today, but I'm ready to answer your questions. That's what Liberian people want. We want accountable leadership. We want leaders who are prepared to answer questions. We want leaders who are prepared to answer questions. I'm prepared to answer questions. At the end of the day, if you want to lead the people, you must be able to be accountable to them. What is happening in Lofa is wrong. And several other things are just wrong. I hope that it will be correct.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Well, folks, there you have it. there you have it. The political leader of the CMC will be exiting. Unfortunately, this was that time we're supposed to bring in the rest of our team member based on our agreements, but we cannot due to the political leader leaving early. So we will be having our team members join us, and the rest of the show, Melbourne and the team will decide how they wanted to run because we have exhausted our time. I've exhausted my time. So Melbourne, it's up to you to bring the guys on so that they can take over.
Wonderful. Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Steve. I guess that they too, they've been following. Like you said, we don't want that to maybe because there was no time. So there's so many questions and so forth. Maybe Melegle eat up most of our time. So again, folks, those of you who just joining, thanks to all of you. You are listening to Honorable Musa Hassan Belete, the political leader of the Citizen Movement for Change, from matter of fact, or the CMC for short. Just been here with us on the Sktv show on Better State 2 FM 96.1, giving us some of the happening of the day. And I know there are a lot of you that will have so many questions, but Brother Ali is here, Mr. Dishu is here. Ali, welcome first. And what's the you with the CMC political leader own take on some of the issue of the day?
Good afternoon, Mayborn. Good afternoon, Mr. Dishu. Good afternoon, Steve. And good afternoon to our listening audience and followers. It's glad to be here today. Happy Friday. Mr. Dishu, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. You hear me clear?
Yes.
Good. We're getting you, Mr. Dishu. How you doing, Mr. Dishu? What's up? Everything?
I say hi to you, Mayborn. Are you? Steve did a splendid job. I really was impressed over the questionings and the answer from Musa. I think he gave the Liberian people a chance now to think twice. You know, he had not been on SKTV for a while, but what he did tonight, the explanation on the different issues and the questions being asked, I think he's a servant of the people. And this is what the people are looking for, a leader that will be a servant. So until then, I'll be following the discussion and give my input. Thank you.
Great. So we have, I think we can use Ali about 12 more minutes, Ali, from now to 7:40 of our local time here. And we'll be able to at least to go to the line to interact with our people. So let's make all of the entire conversation very short and sweet. But let's start off with you, Brother Ali. Mr. Benedict talk about the forward march and also the current leadership, some of the things happening, especially that have to do with the bread and butter, the drugs issue, and at the end of the day, the opposition. What say you, Brother Ali?
Yeah, thank you, Mayborn. And I listened to Honorable Belete. And you see, like I always say, we are looking for leader. We don't need a president right now. We're looking for people who are innovative or people who are transformative, that have the mindset to transform our country, people who are developmental oriented. You see, we need visionary leaders. These are people that we need. And I listen to Mr. Belete, and this is why maybe I continue to say this. The opposition, this is about time that the CMC, the ANC, or the LP, what the guy is, Moluba Uno Party, those opposition, this is time that they all need to get together. You listen to the CMC, their party, what it stands for. This party, the ideology, you look at it, you look at Kumi's own, and you guys, you can sit on the table and have a conversation and see how you can get a strong opposition. And again, coming together, your word make you a man. If they say, oh yeah, maybe you are going to be our head, whatsoever you guys are going to discuss, you shouldn't go into election. When you're winning election, you say those things they were not documented, they didn't go to court to sound it, and you want to deviate. So when he talk about opposition unity, this is what we look forward to see, so that the opposition can get together. We should have a strong opposition that 2029 election, even if they cannot win the ruling party now in the first round, as I always say, there should be a wide margin. between they and the ruling party, that the ruling party said we know that even when they go for second round, they will not make it. But for people to be going so, when he talk about the opposition unity, that's one of the things I'm pushing for, so that we can be able to get rid of this disaster that we have in the country called government. And I really like when he talk about the opposition and the issue about his son. And this is why they will continue to ask the government, when will Baka set precedent? Because this issue about just today, you and I know the reason why this whole thing is prolonging, all the delay tactic and thing. Why? Because there are government officials involved. If it was just any kind of common man, they finish calling names. If it was anybody from the opposition, they finish calling names. But today the government is tight-lipped. We had to push before Justice Minister coming to speak. But see what Mr. Benete did. He got money. He could do everything for his son to be out there today. But no, he want to be a man that can set precedent, or men that of integrity that people can look at and say, yes, when will Baka do such thing? So all the speculations today about the drug business, the government is the one that opening corridor. They create a corridor for that. Set precedent. If there's someone in the office that can give you water to drink, call them out. So we don't have more time, but I really like the way he answered those questions, and also thanks to Steve for asking all those hard questions. And we look forward to seeing the honorable mayor, because for me, I only wanted to ask him one question.
Oh yes, yes. He will be here. He will be here. Usually, just that because of the time, that's why we were not able to bring everybody on. Because when we're having the full time, we're bringing on, and we'll bring everybody on to ask all of the questions they want to ask. But again, Mr. Tishu, what say you? Because you started already from the beginning of the conversation. But what say you with the political leader of the CMC?
Well, this is what we have all been waiting for, to hear the different presidential aspirants come out and explain certain things to our brown people, that they will be able to get an understanding of the mindset of that particular individual. What Musa did tonight, those that had a little bit doubt, I think they were a little bit clearance from the explanation on the different parties coming together. Because remember, I said this long time ago on the same SKTV, the only way that I believe that the opposition will win in the first round will be coming together. But this coming together will be a big sacrifice. That means to say everybody will have to put out the ego and go in for what he just stated, is how they should be able to come together, put away the egos, and make selection of one person that will be able to go and they back this particular person, which I know is very hard, because when I brought out this suggestion the first time back, everybody said no. Everybody want to be the leader of their own. Everybody will be carrying their own pocket. But I'm glad that today that they have said it, and no other party has said it. That when the question was posed to him about it, he said that it's not an idea that has been brought up by the other parties. But if anything, he has been thinking in this direction. If anything that he will have to leave himself out, it will be through this kind of process that he will be able to eliminate himself and give the next person a chance to be able to go forward. Now, on the drug business, he said that he didn't hear much about, he didn't hear much about it from the justice minister. But here and then, what the justice minister did today was a complete mockery to the brown people. With people have been asking the question about the big hands. Everything we knew about the Yoruba, we knew about the Riverside, we knew about the different people long before the government even brought the names out. So the public is more informed than the government. That what you want to say?
Yes, Mr. Dishu. Yes.
I don't understand it. You know that we got more information than what the justice minister was trying to present to us today. It was a complete mockery, because if that was happening and we didn't get any information and they were bringing some new news to us, then we know that the people are working. But with all of what they're doing, they're trying to cheat a whole lot of things. They're trying to cheat information, they're trying to cheat characters, individuals, and all of that. That's what they're fighting for. Now, we're going to have a serious problem that I predicted before. The international community is involved in this investigation. And the hand swinging and picking of different people who are not head of this particular syndicate, and they bring in the lesser people to the brown public. I think the international community taking note of this also, because they know that the government is trying to make a mockery out of the people and the international community. Because if they were very serious, we'll hear one or two of the executive names at this particular time. Other names that have been put out are names that have been out there from day one. Now, the next thing is the camera business. Remember Melbourne and Aliu and Ibrahim, the first time we started to talk about this case, the DEA said that they have collected the CC camera. There is a problem. The CC.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Digi will come back to you. Yes. Okay. But I welcome Mr. Corner. Mr. Corner, what say you? Everything that manage our time, please. At least so that we can have a better conversation. But Mr. Corner, what say you? Everything.
Mabel, how you doing? Good evening to you, and good afternoon to my dear brother Bashir and Aliyu. I know Steve going already, but let me say good afternoon, good evening to the followers, and Liberians at large. Listen, firstly, I must commend the effort you and Steve, for conducting the interview with Honorable Ability. I think some of the questions were pointed, and he managed to address them, especially an uncomfortable one that has to do with his own son that is incarcerated right now for the drug issue in our country. He's a direct victim. Yeah, when we talk about this is not a United Party government issue, but rather an issue for Liberia in its entirety. Musa Belede is a clear example of that. He's in opposition to this government, but today his son is in jail, all because of drug-related situation. So for somebody to think that a government in power currently will come and mislead people in that direction, or try to shield people, the after effect for drug taking is very, 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 very catastrophic for the Republic in its entirety. Every one of us on this show, one way or the other, our immediate family, extended families, or nephews, sons, relatives, and all the kind of people are affected by this drug epidemic. So to come and be selling it is a problem. So and he was on point. And with regards to the issue about the opposition, yeah, it's a lot to be done still. And a lot of the opposition parties in Liberia, they got good ideas, but the ambitions and other things that people will have to lower their ambitions for the common good of the country. And my question I wanted to direct to Honorable Ability, owing to a rule, a law or so that states that if you garner certain percentage of vote in the election, the next subsequent election, you cannot see a presidential candidate. If all the unit, the opposition unity comes about, and there's such a candidate having taking part in the election, and then fell short of that particular threshold, would they be still trying to be put themselves forward to insisting on? Because sometimes opposition will insist that, hey, this is what we want, and it must go that way. So those are things that I think I was going to ask him about to address it. And lastly, my second question was going to be that the drug issue at this time around is a precedent situation. The fact that Liberia is exporting drug as compared to importing it now. what was going to be his take on it, and how much he's willing to go to hold his government accountable for real accountability of this particular episode. I know the next time he comes around, maybe we'll
Oh, yes.
it will be much more interactive, and then we will be in a positions to ask some of those hardball questions. And so that's maybe I think that when it comes to our mobility situation, I think that's fine. But thus far, I mean, he is doing his best he can, and that's all we count on. And other people should step out to do such.
Well, quickly, I don't know what you people want to pass through with that quickly before we go to the line. He also talked about the issue of the rule of law caucus. He also talked about the issue of the rule of law caucus that is not active like before. I don't know why, and people are also concerned about that. How come the rule of law caucus is just going down and going down? Maybe 30 seconds each, so that I can go to the line to hear from our people.
Maybe with regards to that, we had similar situation here in the United States. Back then, during the Obama first term, there was a group of legislators here. During when Obama became president, and then a whole healthcare issue happened, and then that group of legislators, they called themselves some caucus. And as time went by, that caucus became irrelevant, so to speak, because the issue that they were driving home at the time was less significant to the discord. So obviously some of those things would die natural death in a way, and coupled with the fact that you have a government that is trying to infiltrate every opposition in a way to weaken them. Some of the members of the rule of law caucus today, they are dining and whining with the power that be. So how effective it's going to be is another thing. So yes, he's right to say that. I mean, they are kind of irrelevant at this point in time. Maybe that's you're speaking from, because at that time, when I was talking about during the Obama time here in the United States, we had something called Freedom Caucus. The Freedom Caucus was very active here at that time, very, very active, maybe on to the point that the won majority here. But today, that Freedom Caucus is nothing really. So those things happen.
Great. We got to go to the line, but we're getting this news. In fact, we getting this unconfirmed news that the LDA boss, allegedly, the letter is now circulating on the social media that he resigned. So we don't know yet. So how factual the letter is?
But it is, right?
Yes, indeed. But the letter is just on the internet that the LDA boss has finally resigned. That's the news that we're getting, and these reports are here unconfirmed, but we see a letter here, a communication here on the internet. I just sent that into our chat room. I think you guys seen that already. But quickly, any of you want to say anything before we go to the line? Because we're going to go to our people, please.
Yes, yeah, go ahead, Mr. Dishi.
Yeah, let me say something about the resignation. This is pure pressure. There's a pressure on the government, and the government has an easier way to get out of it. Say the truth. Let the Bronco know the truth. Hiding the truth has brought in a lot of things that are questionable at this particular time. Nobody knows the trend of investigation again, because if this DEA officer resigns, how are we going to start the investigation? How are you going to be started off when he was the principal investigator on this particular case and he resigned? So I don't know how it's going to go. So until then, I will be able to give my input after I have read his resignation. Thank you.
Go ahead, brother. Ali, quickly, so that we can go to the line.
Thank you, Mr. Dishu. The problem here, those people, if they think they are going to shield their government official by resigning. And for me, like I said 2 days ago, there were information we got that there are people who are involved into this whole drugs thing, and because they don't want their name to be public, so they will start resigning secretly or openly or whatsoever. And so before now, in my mind, they say where there is smoke, there is fire. Today he resigning. They will say, oh, the LDA boss resigned. Tomorrow we go see the other person, the government resigned, this other person. Then that will take my mind to those information that we've been gathering, we've been hearing. Like the political leader, like today, what did the justice minister say, or Mr. Dishu, like you said, he wouldn't keep to make mockery out of the people, the Liberian people, because those names that he called, these are names that are already in the public. When you listen to Stanton, he will call Peter King name, he will call Oscar Brown name, who he said called that he was on your way to the country. They call him that when he get to the airport, they will arrest him and he will be eliminated. All of the names you call today, these are names that in the public. What did you tell the Liberian people different from what we've been hearing? Those people continue to play on the minds of the Liberian people. But if you people think you will sweep the thing under the carpet, you don't need a rocket scientist. You don't need to go to a prayer model. You don't need to go to Ome Musa to call send to tell you that government officials are involved into this importation and exportation of cocaine in and out of Liberia. It's glaring. So you're sweeping under the carpet. But 2029, the Liberian people will know that this government that came to fight drugs, they are the one importing and exporting drugs nationally and internationally out of the country.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for the line, please. Yes.
Give me 30 seconds. Let me add to that.
Yes, please. I'm at the corner, please. Let's go to the line. We'll come by. You guys will talk. Hello, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Mamusef. I'm calling from Broville. You know, today I just want to speak on two things. One is the interview with Honorability. Honorability, I don't know how to classify it, but he responded in a very, very honorable way of everything. It's not a matter of what it is, but everything he said, he's saying the facts. What he doesn't have evidence over, he just say, until I can do this. And I just really like the way he responded. The second one has to do with the issue of the Justice Minister's press conference. For me, really, I just see it like, for us, really Liberians, we do have our own problem. Because I just want to take you a little bit back on before this government, in the previous government. Everything that was going on is that Samuel Doe is corrupt. Everything that was going on is Samuel Doe is corrupt. Those people who some of them, they call them pieces of evidence people, they went there, they could not be able to reduce those pieces of evidence. For me, it's becoming clear that people suspecting high officials of government. It could be true, it could not be true. But part of the matter that the government is allowing people to circumvent around it also created doubt.
All right, thank you, my dear brother. David King, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead quickly, my brother. Hello, go ahead.
You see, after listening to all of the conversation on the justice minister, I think President Waka to muster the courage and just come up. And, you know, those individuals that they are very diplomatic passport and they are not using it for the entire purpose, but rather to be exported drugs to it. If you have a diplomatic cargo, leading for that they shoot the head, it was a lamb. And with the better stuff, all right, to be a cargo company, I think also profile to what we get the government, the government need to be more serious. If one is starting on the social media for 70 years, I think they are fire. This is why we are seeing this smoke coming out of the roof. So we all need to bring ourselves for the ones to come, because I think this year will take us something down soon. And I want to say that we'll talk about, let us go to bed. Because it is international and we have to take it very serious. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, David King, to this call. Quickly, good evening.
Hello, brother.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for your hard work. You're still working and keep monitoring us by day after this job. God will bless you, my man. I praise you because I know that you're taking the truth to the Liberians. And we smart, we will jump behind us. Number one, this just they said people want to keep, they want to have this just under the carpet. But if they just they didn't start, if they said, they will never forget what they could say. And when they just will never forget what they say, I'm going to come. What are you talking there? Until you can bring the person who had a trust.
Exactly.
People had a trust, they are way up. They just, they say they put the job in the phone, they push, that they say, they eating, but it's me hand, when they put it here, they never will shake. And that you, in the head, it's not believing.
All right, thank you, my dear brother. There is Samia. Good evening. Hello. Hello, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's how the wisdom here. For the legacy of one person, we are called Omega Max, the prime member of Content like Grand Patriot. We are born with five people are in this country. For the very day, the people had a meeting over there that the justice minister told us the information we did were not correct. Some of us from there will look at that they're going to be a serious problem. They are not going to be that proud LDA boss or independent space for our mental corporation differently. You see it? Why is it that somebody was the head of an entity gets information? You are not the head of the entity. Then you have a problem with the man. You see that justice minister has serious problem with LDA boss. That's what they put that man is down because what? He's being embarrassed, he's being suppressed. They like to be in the case. You see it? They want to steal the whole information about this government, but it's not going to be possible. And that man, once he came, that man having to resign, instead of following investigation, is he going to be invited? You know?
That's the thing that we don't know yet, or maybe there are some maybe hard force, or maybe some behinds behind the scene too that are also pressuring. All right. Thank you so much. There is Samuel to this caller quickly. Good evening.
How are you doing?
Yeah, my brother. Okay. Thank God for life. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. God bless this country. This is Silky Groma. Common knows as the name as Silky. You see, labor. It's so she was disgraceful and shameless to the UPS puppets. Bro, that thing happened just.
Hello? Well, go up the line. We have about 7 more minutes. Maybe we'll take only one more call and we'll go for the day. Cross over to our team of analysts. Like one of our sister G Gwens, in fact, John Smith said, only the drivers. Hello, first to this caller. Good evening. Yes, my brother, go ahead. Okay. My dear brother, go ahead. Thank you for joining us.
We don't need any rocket scientist who move to tell us that these puppets they kill to fool us. You don't need rocket scientists to tell you that Joseph Yuma Baka is interfering into this thing. That's the reason why the DNA boss is not as heavy, because the name that is on the call is interfering too much. That's the reason why he want to move the case for Musa. He's not just coming to say he want to resign, but there is too much interference for his son. That's the reason why he want to back up. So I always say to our great people, the CDC government, the United Party government, you don't charge it out. We have other parties, you have always, you have mobility, you just need them. You don't try another party to see when we do this, our type of program, maybe all can tell us, say, okay, the person we don't expect to do this thing can do it for us. But we will not continue to say that sending the country, we just so far and just be looking at people, they play full out of themselves and they say play far away like great people. So let them continue to do that. 2029, we know that the CDC, the Unity Party, is going to be out.
All right, thank you. So to the letters, there are a lot of games now being played. You know, that's the kind of country. The letter is fake, but the letter have the LDA or letterhead. You see the country, if let me see the country seal, you see everything, you see the Republic of Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. Now you come out to tell that the letter is, we will not know before daybreak. Getting a lot of intelligence, international information coming back to about indeed this is true that he resigned, But it's just politics now that about to play. Well, if you want to play politics with your own life, it's up to you. But Mr. Issue, we had to go that my sister John Smith said, only the drivers, the transporters, and all the securities officers, those poor people. Some of you that are your husbands, your brothers, they are the one now being accountable for the drug. Where did people get the contact from to go bring 19 million worth of cocaine in Liberia? But they are the one now being held responsible because at the end of the day, oh, you got to go to work. When you go to work, anything your boss said for the 8 laws of power. Maybe I will say no. If I drive there, for example, like he sent me in a car, for example, and tell me maybe please drive the thing somewhere, I will not say no. But at the end of the day, people won't make us to look like we are just some kind of a group of people that they will control. Oh yes, this and that. By the way, Ali.
Yeah, let me. I'm on it. Mr. Dishu, please. I beg. I'm on the run. Let me just close quickly, please. Yes, like you said, Mayborn, the government, those people, they are playing on the mind of the Liberian people, because you can tell me since the thing happened on the 8th, it is today you coming to call names, and even those names that you are calling, they ban the public the very day the drug was arrested at the airport. So there is nothing strange that the government they want to be paid delay 30. Like you said, maybe okay, yes, you the driver, you the one brought this thing here. Who gave it to you? But now since the thing happen, you arrested those people. But now maybe should be able to tell you, say, oh yeah, that liability give me the thing to bring you whole liability. So all those people know your hoodie, security and thing. What Liberia people get to do with those people? You see? But as I said, a worker will sweep the job under the carpet. It will live with the Unity Party till 2029. Have a nice weekend. Everybody be safe out there. Enjoy your weekend. God bless America. God bless Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. Mr.
Yeah, maybe let me go quick, man. Again, thanks to the callers. You know, look, maybe this government, like I told you guys, their activity is so predictable because they know that these news have been circulating. They want to look for the fall guys in the situation where they will shift the blame. What's the capability of these people having 19 street value of $19 million worth of drug in the country? But because the need have been in the air, in the public space now, so like they can say, oh yeah, this is what we're gonna do. No, Liberians should not buy into that particular narrative. Maybe the issue about all this letter is fake, this and that. Please ask your government. Since they wrote the Nigerian government for that pastor issue, and the letter came out here to say it was fake, have the Nigerian responded to them with the actual response now? No. That communication that came out the other time, that was the right communication, but the classifying as fake. So this is the case here today. Again, you got a DEA. Even days ago, that we hearing that the DEA contemplating on stepping down. Now let that come again and say calling it fake. So this is the narrative here, though. Everything that comes out, they'll say it's fake. By the end of the day, you ask them, after a day or week or so, where are the actual things? They would never produce it. So that narrative, the market is trying to set this narrative to. The Liberians are very, very cognizant of their politics right now. But it's not going to work. The justice minister just did a desperate job today, and they're still trying to cover this thing. But they're forgetting to know that the international community is involved with this situation. It's not going to go away like the Foya episode or like the border situation. It's not going to die down. But again, it was a great show, and have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you next week.
Wonderful. Thank you. Mr. Dishu, what say you?
Yeah, it was a very interesting show tonight. I really enjoyed the show because of a lot that was spit out to the Liberian public. But I just want to close in on this note that the Liberian people are waiting for the real answer of this particular drug problem. I think it's about time now that the government should be able to come out and give the Liberian people what they want to hear. What they want to hear are the big hands. And until then, it's going to be a problem for them in the coming election. So these are things that they have to clear out of the way right now because they have put Liberia into a predicament that the investigation has turned into a mystery, you know, and we're not going to get any part of it except they put the puzzles together and let Liberian people know what is happening. But for now, the puzzles have been scattered all around. DA resigning, the other person name has not come out, bringing in other people's names that we already know about. I think they have scattered the puzzle until we don't know how to place it. So until then, we'll be following. Thanks to the Liberian public for listening, and thanks to you, Mabon, and thanks to Sktv.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Dishu. Thanks to all of our teams, those of you who are joining us, Mr. Ability, or better still Representative Ability from District Number 7, Nima County, was also here with us. And the entire team, Steve Bode, and every one of us who were here this Friday. Folks, thanks to all of you. Today marked the 19 days in the month of June, the 6th month, and the year we made the same 2026. We will be here on Monday by the grace of the Almighty God. Thanks to all of you, our followers, our viewers, those of you that are always supporting us no matter the situation, our disagreement, and everything. For us, we want to think Liberia, build Liberia, and love Liberia. We don't know about you, but we go with the mottos and we go with the kind of slogans: think, love, and build. I don't know how can the people that want to think Liberia, they are the one or alleged giving out drugs and so forth. But thank you so much and good night from our end.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The project is giving us here and the promise of them. The work of my life without fear.
I live with my health.
Master.
Clever is who I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And yes, I know money, the more I get you. And you love the more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do boy ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do boy ya to money, and I don't get now ya to money. That's the baby, and I don't get now. So she walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who willing to serve. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.